Hello everyone and welcome to this video on SI units in AS Level Physics. I'm Tony Hidayat. We will be discussing key concepts that are aligned with Topic 1, Subtopic 1.2 of the Cambridge syllabus. Understanding SI unit is crucial for accurately describing and analyzing physical phenomena. So, let's get started. The first learning objective is recall the following SI-based quantities and their units: mass, length, time, current, and temperature. The International System of Units, or SI unit, is the standard in physics for consistent and accurate measurement. The SI system is built on 7 base quantities, each with its own symbol and unit. These include mass, length, time, temperature, electrical current, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. Here you can see a table listing these base quantities along with their corresponding symbols and units. Mastering this is essential for everything we do in physics. The second learning objective is express derived units as product or quotient of the SI base units and use the derived units for quantities listed in this syllabus as appropriate. In addition to base units, we use derived units to express derived quantities such as area, density, velocity, acceleration, and force. These derived units are expressed as product or quotient of the SI base units. For example, area is derived from length times width, so the unit is meters square. Density is derived from mass over volume, so the unit is kilogram per meter cubic. Velocity is derived from displacement over time, so the unit is meter per second. And acceleration also have their own derived units as shown here. It is derived from change in velocity over time, so the unit is meter per second square. Now it's your turn. Can you derive the unit for force? Drop your answer in the comments below. The third learning objective is use SI base units to check the homogeneity of physical equations. One important skill in physics is checking the homogeneity of physical equations, which ensures that both sides of an equation are dimensionally consistent. Take the kinematics equation S equals to ut plus half at squared as an example. The unit for displacement S is meters. The unit for the terms on the right side, ut and half at squared, also resolve to meters when you apply the SI base unit. This confirms that the equation is homogeneous and correctly represents a physical relationship. The fourth learning objective is recall and use the following prefix and their symbols to indicate decimal submultiplies or multiples of both base and derived units: pico, nano, micro, milli, centi, deci, kilo, mega, giga, and tera. SI prefixes are incredibly useful for expressing both very large and very small quantities. These prefixes, such as milli for 10 to the power of negative 3 and tera for 10 to the power of 12, help us communicate measurements more conveniently. For instance, we commonly use ml for milliliters when talking about a 600 milliliter water bottle and TB for terabyte when we referring to a 4 times 10 to the power of 12 byte hard disk drive. Perhaps you are already familiar with kilo, but not yet with pico. Familiarizing yourself with this prefix is key to understanding and working with measurement in physics. They can be attached to any unit. So that's all, and thank you for joining me in this lesson on SI units. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more physics content. Also, Don't forget to follow our Instagram account @pengajarfisika for updates and more educational content. Keep exploring the wonders of physics. I will see you in the next video.